Welcome to the Eagle Talk Show. Soon you will be soaring high with your host, Mengistu Wolokoli, aka the Black Eagle, and the esteemed Dr. Kete Kumamare. Don't miss the flight. Let's take off together.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Eagle Talk, Uncut. Today, welcome back. Last we didn't have a show. Today, we were supposed to, a new addition was supposed to be added into the show, but the show must go on, must go on. So earlier this afternoon, I would like to make some clarifications on a post I made earlier this afternoon in regards to me being apprehended by the MOT, which is the Ministry of Transport for the Republic of Liberia. I received information that the Ministry of Transport is going to be conducting a vehicle inspection next week to make sure people have their registration. Disclaimer. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to leave that just in case if I have to go to court. But I think that this is a gross abuse of power on the part of the Ministry of Transport. Of the Ministry of Transport, I have not seen anything has been sending me a message and so forth about this Ministry of Transport inspection, and I have not seen anything so far that give the Ministry of Transport authority to be to conduct such some such stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Will Winfrey Dunso. Good evening, sir. How you doing? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hear me as well.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Am I clear?
Yes, I can
Yeah,
hear
I
you
can
now.
hear you. All right.
Yeah, I can.
So
Okay, yes, I can hear you.
okay. So let me say thank you. Thank you for
Welcome to
uh,
Eagle Talk.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much, and we are happy. We are excited to be part of you, especially to discuss the Liberian people. Let me also say, let me apologize for the light. We hope we can make some change in as soon as possible, and so that those viewing can also see our faces clear. But never mind, we have come to talk about the Liberian people issue, and there are so many things happening around the country. And indeed, it is interesting that people around the world, especially Liberians, get to know what are some of these things that are happening. So let me say thank you for the show. And I hope together we're going to have a positive conversation that going to affect, that going to impact the life of Liberians, that going to help transform our country. So again, thank you, Mr. Willokoli, and thanks to the rest of the team. And let me say also say thank you and welcome as well.
Thank you, Mr. Winfrey. I appreciate you joining us this evening. And I was just speaking on my post about the Ministry of Transport. And know you have other things, so let me address it. Then you can let me finish what I was saying. You can address what I'm saying, and then we can go into other topics. As I was saying, the ministry, I got information that the Ministry of Transport will be conducting inspection next week. All of I think all of next week, all of November. I guess that's what they're going to be doing, and I think that it is. I believe it's a shakedown, and I believe it's a shakedown to on the common people, the masses of Liberians, and there will be a big inconvenience to people driving next week, just so that the Ministry of Transport can make themselves relevant to say that they are doing something. The Ministry of Transport is not a revenue generating entity. They should be there for improving the driving standards and the driving condition of the country, putting our laws on what how people should drive. They are not they should not and must not be part of saying, oh, stopping people to stop, search, and seize people vehicle of of any kind. The stop, search, and seize people vehicle authority goes to the Liberian National Police, so that this is not their job. So I'm pleading to all Liberians on what listen on my voice. You don't have to get hostile. You don't have to get thing civil disobedience. I'm asking for all Liberians to be civil disobedience to the Ministry of Transport on the road. Park your car at the checkpoint and do not get off till a police officer come to you and ask you. If anybody from the Ministry of Transport stops you, they have no right to stop you from to check your thing. Let them show law that the Congress of the Republic of Liberia and the president give the Ministry of Transport to stop, search, and seize anybody in a private owned vehicle. They do not have the right. And I'm hoping that next week I'm going to drive around Monrovia looking for. Hopefully, I get my vehicle back. I will drive around Monrovia looking for transport to stop me. If a police officer comes to me and asks me for my document, I will give my document to a police officer. But I will not comply with anybody, any staff wearing their rebel vests, the same rebel mentality that we have, the rebel vest that they have, asking me to give them my document. The only authority they have is that when I go register my vehicle, I should provide all the documents that they say that they need, and for me to get my vehicle registration. They do not have no right. They have no authority or responsibility to stop me on the road to ask me for my vehicle registration, my vehicle document. That is left to the police, the National Police of Liberia. I rest for now. Let's hear you, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, are you getting me?
Yes, I can hear
Hello?
you.
All right. So I was like concerned because I saw on your official Facebook page and you talk about police or the Ministry of Transport going to apprehend you. But again, I was informed today because as media person, we thought to visit some of the ministry and agency. So today, when we left, we were at the after we left the ministerial complex, we went at the Ministry of Transport. You know, the Ministry of Transport regulates uh, transport activities within the country, especially registering your vehicle, your motorbike, getting your lessons, and all that stuff. So we were also told that next week the Ministry of Transport and that of the Liberia National Police Traffic Department going to launch what we call uh, registration of vehicles, tricycles, motorbike, and you name the rest. So again, like you said, it is important that citizens get to know who are those who are supposed to conduct the the process, who are those are supposed to get to you to ask you for your lesson, your documents. But again, the police department, the traffic department of the Liberian National Police is also part of this process. They also work in line with the Ministry of Transport. That's why when you get into the street, you see there will be a traffic police director at a certain checkpoint. So when you see them there, they also have that opportunity, or should I say right, to also make sure that this person is respecting the Ministry of Transport rules and regulations. Yeah,
Okay, see,
so
but that's the thing. The Ministry of Transport do not have rules and regulation. If a police officer stops
but
me or
they
stops
have
any
policy.
citizen, no, the policy does not outweigh the Constitution.
Mm.
The policy cannot take away a citizen constitutional right. No,
So
me
so
ask
so
the Minister of Transport asking a staff from the Minister of Transport asking me or asking you for your document. It's like me asking you to show me your document. I can stop you on the road and do that. The transport
mm.
the staff have no authority, zero authority. The Constitution does not give them any authority on search, stop, search, and seizure.
Mhm.
Zero.
Yeah. So the police are the ones that protect lives and property, and of course they are the one who also carry on search and seizure warrant on property, vehicles, and other stuff. So in that line, you have the Ministry of Transport that also form part of it. But again, this is done. That's why I said this is done in line, in collaboration with the Ministry of Transport and that of the Liberian National
But
Police.
I get that. Well, I get that.
Mm,
It is the job of the police to do that. Ministry of Transport
mhm.
should not be on the road. It is none of their business. It's none of their prerogative. Their only job is to make sure that a vehicle are registered. That when a citizen comes to the ministry to get their license and get a vehicle registered, that's their job. That's it. That's the sole job. Then the next job is to make sure that they should be talking about looking at places for us to build a train rail in the country. What are the
Mm.
new driving regulation that they was sent down to the police? That's it. It is
So
not their job to do it. I'm saying next week I'm
so
going
so
to
so
drive
so your
around to
concern,
every checkpoint.
mhm. Your concern is about the Ministry of Transport inspectors. They have nothing to do with the search of vehicles. I believe there where your argument or your point is coming from.
Yes, they
Okay.
have no authority to be on the road asking citizens for the document. It's the job of the police. If the police can't do it, they need to recruit, train, and equip more police officers to do it.
So this is it now.
Or
Do we have
they could,
how many
or the
persons? How
president
many
can
persons?
pass
How
an
many
emergency
persons? How
law.
many? Mhm. How many persons have been trained? Because when you get into the street, right, you find out you have less police director, traffic directors from the Liberian National Police. So the Ministry of Transport will also think in that light. Since indeed there is a less manpower within the Liberian National Police uh, department or sector, they also
And who
want to
fault
use
is that?
come in.
Who fault is that people are not trying to be recruited in the Liberian National Police? I blame
So we blame the
Inspector General
government.
Greg Coleman.
We blame the head of the Liberia National Police and that of the government as a whole, because
Okay,
there should be resources. There should be resources being provided. If the head of the Liberia National Police does not have the funding, the resources to recruit more manpower, right? Definitely you will not have people coming on board. There will be no one wanting to have interest in the Liberia National Police, especially that department. But this is a question. There have been several recruitments within the Liberia National Police. How many persons have been trained within the traffic sector? How many persons have been trained? These are questions. If we have the opportunity to meet the IG Gregory Comer, who has served the government, who has served this country during Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's government, it will also be interesting for him to also explain to the Liberian people how many men and women have been trained within the traffic department of the Liberian National Police. Because mind you, these are reasons why you have the Ministry of Transport sending in their inspectors to also help the manpower of the Liberian National Police.
but okay, I would say this. I, that's a question I have written in the Liberian National Police about two letters over the past year to try and get someone to appear on the on Eagle Talk, but they have refused to show up. They've been saying they are busy, they are busy, they are busy, and they don't want to show up so we can ask them these questions that is concerning to the Liberian people. I don't know if they're
So,
afraid
so,
to
so,
show
so,
up or
so,
they
so in that light, the spokesperson is somebody who I also know, Madam Cecilia
no,
Clark. We're
I
hoping.
have addressed it. I have addressed the spokesperson, Madam Myers.
Mhm.
She knows me. I have taken my letter over there and so forth. They have refused to come on the show. I invited them. I told them I would give them an hour. They don't have to pay nothing when they come on my show and so forth. We just say have a conversation about policing and what's the duty of the police. We'll not be talking no politics and so forth. But they have not gotten back to me. But
Okay.
for your question, it is on the Liberian National Police to provide the police to do these things. One, the way in which that they conduct their inspection, I believe, my opinion, is incompetent. They should have police officers just driving by and stopping people and asking people for their license and impounding people vehicles. That's what they should do. But police are not doing it. The Liberian National Police should contract private citizens to be tow trucks driver for the city. The
Okay.
MCC and the PCC should be the one enforcing most of these laws, these traffic violations. We got motorcycles riding around, people riding vehicles who don't have brake lights. You not having a brake light on your vehicle is a hazardous to the public because somebody driving behind you don't know if you are stopping and they can run into you. Those are the simple things that the Liberian National Police being trained. So right now it is wrong. What they are doing is unconstitutional. That is my point. I believe it's unconstitutional for a staff, somebody who's sitting in the office, who is not trained to come on the street and stop citizens, extort money out of citizens, embarrass, inconvenience citizens to say pay money because so stuff. Let the police be the police
Yes. So,
must be the one to do that.
okay. The police must be the one doing that. So this has happened over the period of time. You have inspectors, and even sometimes you have just employees. They are not inspectors from the Ministry of Transport, but you see them in the street. They join the police and get to your vehicle, start to ask you for documents. But you wrote the
Which
Liberian
is
National
wrong.
Police. Yeah, yeah.
Which
You
is
wrote the
wrong.
Liberian
Just because
National. You wrote.
you have to understand, sir. You have to understand, just because we have been doing it does not mean it's right. Just
So,
because
so somebody
we
will say
have been
that
doing it for
somebody will say
family.
the people now they are used to it. So for instance, they hear about the inspection of vehicles, registration of vehicles and other stuff. They are concerned about the inspectors from the Ministry of Transport instead of the Liberia National Police, because most often when these things are happening, the drivers or those who own vehicles or tricycle or motorbikes, right? They mostly
Mhm.
turn that document over to the Ministry of Transport inspectors, those who are on the ground. And sometimes you observe the hollow baloo between these people. There's some confrontation between them because who's the specific person that's supposed to inspect or that's supposed to ask the question or get the document from my hand, from my hands? Is it the police? Is it the inspector from the the Ministry of Transport? These are questions. These are things they don't know. So sometimes they come in confrontation, well, with probably the inspector or the traffic director of the Liberia National Police.
So, so I'll say this to everybody listening. To the other, if they need me to lead a protest, the
Mm-hmm.
civil disobedient protest, to go to every checkpoint and that MOT does, I'm gonna park my car there and refuse to give them my stuff. So a police officer come and inspect my document. I will not give my document to any MOT staff.
So to
I will
defy
not.
the, yeah, so this is it, right? Like you are saying, you will not give your documents to any uh, Ministry of Transport MOT inspector. But somebody will say you are defying the Ministry of Transport that is responsible with that is classed with the responsibility to inspect a vehicle to know whether you register. Somebody will say you defying that.
No, they are the responsibility that when I go to get my registration, to go and get my to register my vehicle or get my driver license, that is when they are supposed to inspect my vehicle to make sure my vehicle is drivable,
Mm.
is operational for me to drive it on the streets of Monrovia, on the street of Liberia. That's the only time that they have that responsibility. But when I'm driving on the street, when I'm on the street, they are not responsible for that. The Liberian National Police is responsible for that.
Mm.
The Liberian National Police, the one who's supposed to, if my vehicle is in op, they are supposed to take the vehicle and give me a ticket or remove my vehicle from the road and make sure I'm doing it. If I'm doing something illegal, they will send my case to the courts for it to be adjudicated. That is the law.
Okay.
What the
All
transport
right.
Ministry of Transport is doing is unconstitutional.
So I come to think about this now. Yes, you have stressed the point, and I think it is important that citizens get to know who are those they're supposed to present their documents to, who are those that are supposed to inspect their vehicles when it
No, no, no.
comes to the
It's not present
inspection.
your documents. It's not present your
I,
documents.
I,
It's
to
who has the
inspect, right?
authority to stop,
Okay, who has
search,
the
and
authority?
seize.
Okay, so
Yes.
because of
Let's
this,
I don't want to use the colloquy thing, to get a vehicle. No. Who has the authority
okay.
to stop, search, and seize?
Uh, Okay, so now come to think about this. Hopefully next week the inspection will start, and due to the hullabaloo, the talk show between the Liberia National Police, probably, or the that's the MOT inspector, you have a huge traffic. You're going to have a huge
Yes.
traffic which not supposed to be. And today already you start experiencing it. Today, just imagine I was leaving from in town coming. and the traffic started with me around the Vamuma area. Imagine, and I have to get down from the taxi,
Yes.
get on bike. When I got in front, I couldn't see anything. You could only see police on the street. You could only see police on the street trying to talk to. I don't know whether they were inspecting taxi drivers, their lesson or their documents. But trust me, hopefully next week, once the process starts, right, you're going to have a huge traffic and you have people going to work, and so they also need to put in the proper mechanism so as to have these unnecessary occurrence or situation with drivers or pedestrians who might be in rush going to work, or people who might be attending to emergency. So this is another recommendation. There should be mechanism put in place so as to have unnecessary traffic, because sometimes when the MOT inspector or the police engage you, sometimes they allow you to stop your vehicle in the middle of the street, in the middle of the road, wherein you're supposed to give space to others who's supposed to pass through.
All right. Well, I think we have. We'll wait. We'll wait for next week to see. Maybe next
Hmm.
week you will be hosting the show by yourself. Because I will be sitting in jail. So we'll see.
All right. So apart from this, so these are things that need to be done before the inspection can start. The Ministry of Transport, the Traffic Department of the Liberian National Police, they all need to dialogue, sit on the table to strategize plan for next week inspection. They need to do so so as to, like I said, these unnecessary uh, traffic,
The only
so that they won't be
the only
caused.
thing they can do, is to make sure only the police are doing the vehicle inspection. MOT
Mm,
cannot be the one on the streets doing the inspection. MOT
all
must
right.
not be on the street doing the inspection. So
So,
on another topic.
mhm.
Go ahead.
So you want me to bring the next topic? So yes,
Please
that
do.
so we're going to talk. Kami,
No, go ahead. Continue. Continue.
okay. So there are too many things happening around the country, and the most trending one is that has to do with the House of Legislature, especially the lower house, the House of Representatives, and we'll throw some light on it, and then our major talking point. We'll move to our major talking point this evening on the presentation. So that has to do with the removal of the speaker. That has to do with the removal of the speaker. Uh, as you may be informed of recent, when the speaker was in the United States, and later on he was invited by the president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Yimon Boyka, to meet the Pope of the Catholic Church, that's Pope Francis. While in absence, some lawmakers thought to gather, and they expressed their grievances. They said they labored some allegation against the speaker that some mismanagement of resources, especially with a budget where when he was deputy president, it was he exceeded around 5 million plus within his budget, which he also, according to the speaker, when he had an interview with journalists, he said he he does not control his budget. At the time he was deputy speaker, at no point in time he experienced such. So probably the controller who controls the speaker budget and that of the deputy speaker budget should have informed the two position, or the two individual that is the deputy speaker and that of the speaker. And they also talk about the issue of his leadership style. His leadership style at the House of Legislature, especially the lower house, uh, he has not contributed immensely to them and that of the Liberian people. And so they labeled this count and they are calling for the removal of the speaker. So in that you have 43 persons, 43 lawmakers who are seeking the removal of the speaker. And of course, when the speaker returned during his press conference, he said he would not resign. And he also labeled some allegation against the 49, that is the majority. Yes, they are in majority, but he said their majority, can they remove the speaker? That's another question. But this is it. The speaker said he will not resign. If the majority believe they have the counts and what they are saying, they have facts, they have evidence, right? They should come to the plenary. And you cannot do anything out of the plenary. Once you accuse the speaker, you should have 49 to appear before the speaker, which will also give the speaker the right to resign or to remove from that position and to address all of the claims, all of the allegations the majority labored against him. So, so all of these things can happen according to the speaker. He will resign or he will remove from the position and follow the due process. But until then, the majority cannot pressurize him to resign. So these are
Okay,
situations
so
that are happening. You have civil society
so
organizations. You have currently as we speak,
one second.
the minority that
Let
of
me address.
because the speaker.
Let me
Okay, go ahead.
let me come in a little bit. Let me come in a little bit with this whole speaker shenanigans. So for me, I say that Councillor Fanati Kofa should not be a representative. He is not an honorable man. He lacks integrity. Fanati Kofa was pled guilty to stealing in the United States of America. Fanati Kofa cannot be a lawyer. He cannot practice his his uh, uh, his profession in the United States of America, and he shouldn't have been able to practice it in Liberia. If you look at the Liberian law, Liberia Bar Association bylaws and rules, whatever, it states in there. There's a partner, I can't remember which one it is. It states that you have to be in good standing in the United States in order for you to be able to practice law in Liberia. So the Liberian Bar Association, who was head, we got the likes of Councillor Taiwan Gonglo, allowed Fanati Kofa to practice law in Liberia, knowing that he was not in good standing in America. That's one. Two, the late former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf just made a whole lot of noise about her 86th birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her 86th
Right?
birthday.
86th birthday, saying that past laws, not noise. She was the same person that when Fanati Kofa, knowing that when he lacks integrity, she hired him as her minister of presidential affairs. Knowing that man have no integrity, that's who she hired. Two, if we look deep into the two speakers that were removed from office during Ellen time, Fanati Kofa, Councillor Fanati Kofa had a hand to play in these removal of those two people. Three.
Okay.
So I'll say four. Speaker Kofa is saying these things right now about, so-called whatever he's saying right now, but he's been part of the system. He's been accused of $1.1 million budget and spending $4 million. And he said he had nothing to do with it. That's not leadership. That's situationship. That's not that's an absentee leader. that's somebody that you don't deserve to be in a leadership position. 5,
Okay.
where they are saying, I think it's Article 45. They said the House of Representatives shall elect once every 6 years a speaker who shall be presiding officer of the body, a deputy speaker of such other office as shall ensure the proper functioning of the House. The speaker and the deputy speaker and the office and other officers so elected may be removed from office for cause by resolution of a 2/3 majority of the member of the House.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the Constitution, from what I'm reading, that's why they have to go to the court. When they say remove, they are meaning removing him from the House of Representatives, not from the position. Not from the position. He can be removed as speaker. He can still finish up his term as representative. That's what that's what it comes to. From when I read the Constitution, that's what I understand it to be. That's what it needs to go to court for the court to justify, to clarify position and office. In the Constitution, it said office. It does not say position. So they don't need 2/3 to remove him from the position. They need 2/3 to remove him from office. They need majority to remove him from the position. So that's why they need to go to court. And Councilor Kofa knows that that's what it is. But he's running to the court because he probably thinks he has people over there that would do his baiting for him.
Mm-hmm. So you talk about the speaker. You talk about him. He was part of those who supported the removal of former Associate Justice Kabina Janet. If I'm right.
Yes.
Okay. And there are other things too, sir. But this is it. This is it. You saying this, and Kabina Janet now is the one who pleading the case for the speaker. From what we have gathered, some people will say the allegation you're making it is not meaningful to the speaker at the time when you talk about he supported the removal. You are part of those.
Correction. What I said, remember Snow and another person, another speaker were removed.
Yeah, Tyler, that's Ellis Tyler, Speaker Snow and Ellis Tyler.
Yes, and Kofa was part of the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration. He was the Minister of Presidential Affairs during those terms. And I'm willing to guarantee he has something to do with it. He had a role to play in it. So I don't feel sorry for him because, like I said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If former Chief Justice Kabina Jada is representing the speaker, the Constitution says everybody's entitled to a lawyer. So Kabina Jada is a lawyer. He has to go and defend. He has to go. The man is paying him to defend him. He got to go and do it and defend him. I don't hold nothing against the former Chief Justice. Everybody's entitled to legal representation.
So another thing you said that the speaker was convicted in the United States of America, and he came.
He pled guilty.
He pled guilty. Yeah, okay. He pled guilty, and he was prosecuted. People will say he was prosecuted, and he's a Liberian. He's a Liberian, and the Constitution, would deny anyone from exercising their political franchise, right? So people will say it is the right of the speaker, and the Constitution backs him to come and contest. So should we say
no.
the problem comes from the Constitution or the Liberian people?
I'm not saying. Will
you said you said he's not a honorable man, and he should not be a representative. So that's where my question
Yes.
is coming from.
Okay. And I will say again, the House of Representatives is for honorable men. Councillor Fanati Kofa is not an honorable man to serve in the House of Representatives. He lacks integrity.
Okay.
He lacks honor. He lacks respect for the people of Liberia.
Okay.
That is my opinion for what I got. He may be a great man. He may be a good man, a great husband, a great father, a great uncle, and so forth, grandfather, all that. But when it comes to character, he does not have the character to be an honorable man in the House of Representatives. The likes of Yetta Koluba, the likes of Natana McGill, the likes of Bill Tare, the likes of Prince Johnson, and so forth. They do not have the character to be in the House of Representatives. They do not deserve to be called honorable.
All right. So yes, there are so many. So if you talk about people who are not supposed to be honorable or leaders of the country, uh, the citizens will say majority of those who are at the House of Legislature do not fit the position to be called representative or senator. But again, that's the Constitution. Who do we blame in this situation?
No. See, well,
Do we want,
you are
should we hold
confusing
people
what I'm saying. It is their right. Listen now, it is their right to run. I'm not saying we should ban them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the citizens should not elect these people. I'm saying that the character should matter for people like that to be in the House of Representatives. If the people of Grand Jita or River says elect Fanati Kofa, I respect that decision. I'm just saying he is not an honorable man to serve in that position. The House of Representatives, all the people, all the majority bloc right now, they knew all these things and they elected him to become speaker.
And this is it. Some of them who are calling for his removal, they also voted him as deputy speaker at the time.
Yes.
So the Liberian people now look see that call as being sentimental, as being personal. Because if you will elect somebody as deputy speaker, and today you elected them as speaker, and you coming up with all these allegations when you knew full well this man has all of the stigma you're talking about, and then you still making speaker. People will say, but then all of you are not serious. All of you knew this was a cause and this was the case, but yet and still you still making the third man in the country. But the group are also saying the speaker is also a lawyer to several concession companies. Illegal framework is also serving as is also providing legal consultancy to some of the concession companies around, like BM Mountain, that's local as well. And you get the Central Bank of Liberia. They name several companies. What exactly you have to say when it comes to their allegation? And also, they are not they have not reached to tear. They have not reached to tear of the Constitution. Like when you read Article 45 of the Constitution, it talks about to tear, to remove these lawmakers. So
45 or 49?
They do not have
1 second.
45
or 49? I just
Are you
read
talking
49.
about the Constitution?
Yeah, the Constitution.
45.
I just read 49. That's what I just
So
read.
go to
49.
So go to 43. Article 43.
43. All right, so let me read it.
Yeah.
The power to prepare a bill, impeach, is invested solely in the House of Representatives, and the power to try or impeachment is invested solely in the Senate. When the president, vice president, or associate justice is to be tried, the chief justice shall provide. when a chief justice or the judge of a subordinate court is record is on trial, the president of the Senate shall preside. No person shall be impeached, but by the concurrence of 2/3 of the total membership of the Senate. Judgment in such case shall not extend beyond removal from office and disqualification to hold public office in a republic, but the party may be tried by law for the same offense. The legislature shall prescribe the procedure of the impeachment proceeding, which shall be in conformity with the requirement of due process of the law.
So
43. Again, hold on.
Yeah.
No. Let me finish. 43 does not say anything about speaker. It said president, vice president, and judges, associate justice, chief justice.
So
it says nothing about speaker.
So let's also look at 45. All right,
let's go to 45. All right,
you read
45.
Yeah, you read 49. You read 49. You just.
I'm going to read it now. Hold on. Let me read it. The Senate shall compose of Senate elect for a term for 9 years by the registered voter in each of the county. But the senator elected in a by-election is to fill the vacancy created by death, resignation, expulsion, or otherwise, shall be so elected to serve only the remainder of the unexpired term of the office. Each county shall select 2 senators, and each senator shall have 1 vote in the Senate. Senator shall be eligible for re-election. So nothing in there about 2/3. So which one you want me to read again?
So when you talk about 2/3, like you read Article 43, right? That part of the Constitution also affects.
Let me read 47.
Okay.
47. The Senate shall elect once every 6 years a president pro tem who shall preside in the absence of the president of the Senate, which is the vice president, and shall such office as shall ensure the proper functioning of the Senate. The president pro tem and other officer so elected may be removed from office for cause or resolution for a two-thirds majority. 2/3, I guess the temple. 2/3 majority of the member of the Senate. They said office. They didn't say position. Office, not position.
So you have the 2 block. You have the 2 block. They need to understand that part of the Constitution. The majority and that of the minority. I'm saying the minority and that of the majority. They need to understand that part of the Constitution. They need to meet the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can interpret that part of the Constitution. Because if you look at it, the minority are saying the majority, which is the 49, they have not reached 49, which is constitutional according to them, which is constitutional to remove the speaker. And the speaker is saying, the majority are saying they have the numbers. The majority are saying they have the numbers, and with their numbers, they can remove the speaker. But when you look at that, according to that rule, I've been going at the House of Legislature to get some of the rules of the House of Representatives. So they've been quoting their rules. When you listen to some of them, they are saying the speaker right now needs 7 persons to have a quorum, because for the past, I think, 4 sessions now, there have been no session because the speaker and the deputy speaker, they do not have the number to conduct session, that is to conduct quorum. So due to that, the speaker needs 7 persons, 7 more lawmakers. Likewise, the majority needs a 7 person to have 49. So this law seems to be contradicting properly the majority. Let me just say this. The majority and that of the minority, they seems to contradict this law, this part of the constitution. It seems the both parties, they do not understand this article within the constitution. And so that, yeah, so they do not understand this part of the constitution. So I think the Supreme Court, which the minority have ran to, I think the Supreme Court needs to interpret this law, because the Supreme Court also placed a prohibition. The Speaker prayed for a prohibition at the Supreme Court, and the Justice in Chambers, Justice Bessie, is also talking about prohibition on the process, calling on the two parties not to conduct session till they can hear from the Supreme Court. So I think if the both parties can listen to the Supreme Court, because the majority are saying the Supreme Court trying to infringe on the legislature or the legislative branch of government, which they do not have authority over. That's what the majority are saying, and the minority are saying the law must be respected. And looking at that, Liberia is a country of law. It is not a country of men. So these are the angles you have the two parties they are coming from.
Of them saying that yeah, the judicial branch is only supposed to interpret the law between the executive and the legislature. I think that the judiciary should send it. They should refuse to hear the case and have them to settle it amongst themselves. This have nothing to do with the judiciary or the executive branch. These are a bunch of men who are doing stuff, men and women who are doing stuff that is not in the best interest of the Liberian people. They have not passed no laws for the past 9 months, 10 to 9 months, that will improve the lives of the Liberian people. So the Liberian people listening out there now and later, all these people needs to be replaced. All of them need to be replaced because they are not doing what is in the best interest of the Liberian people. All right. So I think we have beat this horse to death. Let's get to our topic of what we wanted to discuss. Uh, uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
uh,
So this is it. I think we need to talk about the major reason why we are here today. So the Liberia Health Ministry, this is a sector that needs to look at the well-being of the Liberian people. When you're talking about health, you're talking about controlling diseases, how the Ministry of Health can intervene, create or bring in more nurses and doctors so as to have uh, to give good health delivery system to the country. So over the period of time, there have been too much complaint. There have been complaints from citizens when it comes to the health sector. Nurses are complaining over the time that they are not getting the rightful pay, they are not getting the rightful salary, and they want increment in their salaries. Again, you have the doctors, we have less doctors. So let me just give you some about the statistics and then I can turn over to you. So with the estimated health workers in our country, we have close to 5,700 over. Let me just say over 5,700 health workers. 36% are nurses, 23% are nurses aides, 11% are certified midwives, and with just 2.7%, they are medical doctors. So you see that the translation is done with just one doctor.
Go back. Medical doctors, what's the percentage?
2.7%.
Medical
So that tells
doctors.
you, yeah, medical doctor 2.7%, and then that tells you that we we don't have enough
Okay.
doctors within our country. And if you see the 2.3 or 7%, at what specifically are they specified in? Because sometimes you have people, they have eye problem, they have to leave the country. Some people get bone problem, they have to leave the country. So I'm also confused. If you say 2.7%, if this is the statistic from the Ministry of Health, then what are they doing to have more doctors instead of having more nurses? Because doctors, they get to operate and do surgery on people who are affected with different diseases and having some other chronic issues.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say this. Our healthcare system is bad because over the years, our leaders have not invested in in our healthcare system. I believe in order for us to have a better healthcare system, I think we need a universal healthcare system is what I believe we for us to improve our healthcare system. Why I say that? Because one of the things that we have right now in our arsenal, we have is the when you look at Social Security. Social Security have the healthcare portion and the retirement portion and the welfare portion. On the retirement and the
Mm.
healthcare and the health insurance portion of the Social Security scheme has been implemented since 1962. The welfare portion have not been implemented. When you look at the amount of doctors and stuff that we do not have, and the nurses that we have, we as Liberians, we have to be serious, ready, and able for us to be able to take care of our people. We have people within the healthcare system or in the country who have too much ego, too much pride, too much entitlement. It's the reason why we are suffering how we are suffering. We need to bring in,
Yeah.
more doctors. But when people try to bring doctors in, the people on the ground say, "Oh, you trying to bring people that person gonna take my job." Instead of them thinking, let me be like a sponge and learn from this person to make myself better. But those same people who here will go to the Americas, Canada, Europe, and go and work for other entity that they have other places, but the people they are going to work, they are working near or working with, they don't look at them as a threat to take away jobs from them as they're going to take their job. They look at them as their colleagues. I look at it as you have a low self-esteem that you think as a doctor or as a nurse, another person is going to come and take your job. You should be willing to learn from them. So enough knowledge. But the problem is that one, the administration, Ellen Johnson, let me go as far back as Samuel Kanye Doe administration. They didn't have no
All right.
healthcare plan. Charles Taylor didn't have no healthcare. And Joseph Boyka do not have a healthcare plan. What is the healthcare plan right now? If you go ask most of the people in there, I had a journalist once told me that JFK is a healthcare plan, and this is a renowned journalist in Liberia. I believe that we should have universal healthcare. That everybody, every company, every business, foreign or domestic, should be paying certain amount of taxes that any Liberian going to the hospital, a public hospital, that they do not have to pay money out of pocket. That will increase our nurses, our doctors. That will reinvest into our into equipment. We'll reinvest into other things. If I'm not mistaken, the United States government gave Liberia about $75 million a year in the health sector. Why don't we, the government of Liberia, ask the American government, ask the American to have what do you call it? Liberians who have student loans, to make sure to say, hey, come back and work in Liberia for a couple of years, and then we'll pay off your student loan. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Network is raining right now, and network is giving so these are the things that we need to look at as we go to the ballot box, or we talk to politicians. These are the things we need to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. So as I was saying,
So the weather is not too good. So you have the internet.
yeah, I know.
So like you call it, right? The country. This has been an old age issue. A country 177 years, and up to present, Liberians yet to get a good health system. They are suffering from malaria for Liberia. What are the mechanisms? What government, past government and current government, what are their plans? How much are they putting in the health sector? Every time you hear politician will tell you, when I become president, I'm going to improve the health sector. And even the current president, His Excellency Joseph Yima Boyka, he talked about his arrest agenda. And he included health, right? But again, when you look at the current budget, how much do we have in the current budget for health? But they increase entities that will not benefit the common people. Entities where those who spearhead these entities will enrich themselves with the Liberian people money, taxpayer money. So you find out the health system, they depend on donors. They depend on donors for support. And that's why you have so many health partners within our country. Our government, leaders of this country need to be serious. They need to sit and understand. They need to be fair to serving the Liberian people. If any lawmaker is not serious to lead, if you don't have the vision, or as a president, if you don't have the willingness of the vision to lead this country or to serve this country, I think you should give a space. the former government headed by His Excellency uh, George Manawia. What have been the impact to the health sector? Former President Ellen
Nothing.
Johnson Sirleaf, yes, people will say she built hospital around here. Yeah, it was after the war, but we have more NGOs here that were doing what they think they can to improve the living condition of the Liberian people. Now we are into another government, President Joseph Yuma Boyka. What exactly his vision? Go to JFK, you see people still crying for medicine, crying for drugs. So at some point in time, they will write the nurses or the doctors, they will write on a piece of paper and direct them to a specific clinic or drugstore or pharmacist and say, go there, you buy so and so medicine, and then you use it, and then you take it. That is wrong. When people go to the hospital, they go there because they want the proper treatment. When a sick patient gets to the hospital, they get there because they know the hospital is a rightful place that can give them the real treatment, the proper treatment. But if you get there and at the end of the day, the nurses or the doctors tell you, take this paper, go to this pharmacy or drugstore and buy this medicine, it frustrates the people. The people get weak and they start to ask themselves, where have they gone wrong when they pay taxes and instead of their taxes benefiting them, they are not seeing anything. So
See,
the health
that's
sector
a whole
is
that's a whole other story
that's
right
a whole
there.
other story right there.
And let's talk about
And let's
taxes. So
talk about taxes. So let
I feel like, bro, we don't pay taxes like that.
I
So
feel like we don't pay taxes like that.
go
So
there
let's not go
I
there
want to show you
talk about
something.
paying tax. I want to tell you something. But this is it now. Somebody I met one of my colleagues and he said the poor people are the ones who pay taxes than those who have the money. And
Yeah, that's in America.
that's in America.
That happened in
That
America.
happened in America.
The poor people
The poor
pay
people
more taxes
pay more
and,
taxes
and,
and,
and
and,
rich people.
and
In
rich people.
Liberia,
In Nigeria, I think people of wealth
taxes without
more taxes than more
and
people
most
on
people
the
don't pay
top.
taxes.
And most people don't pay
One of
taxes.
the things
One
I
of the
like
things
to look at
I like to
root
look at
cause of
are the root cause of
our
our
leaders,
leaders,
politicians, non-politicians
politicians,
in the healthcare.
non-politicians in the
The
healthcare.
the root cause of problem.
The root cause of problem.
I want you to
I
see
want you
something.
to I want you to see something.
Can you read this?
Can you read this? Well, I'm not really seeing it, but probably if you can read it.
All right, so let me know.
All right, so let me know.
All right.
Yeah.
The
All right.
five leading
The five leading specific cause of death.
It's a survey that was
It's
done
a
in
survey that was done in 2008.
The five leading causes
The
of
five
death
leading
in
causes of
Liberia was
death in Liberia was diarrhea diseases, 11.9 deaths,
malaria,
malaria,
7.9,
7.9,
lower
lower respiratory infection.
Hey, can you mute your stuff a
Hey,
little
can you
bit?
mute your stuff a little bit so because you echoing?
All right. Lower respiratory infection is 7.5. Asthmatic heart disease is 7.2. HIV/AIDS is 6%. So if you look at the first four, diarrhea, malaria, and respiratory disease, the first three of deaths that we have in our country is due to the lack of clean drinking water. Why in the world in 2024 that we cannot build a water distillery plant that we have clean,
that
safe,
we
running
have
drinking
clean,
water
safe, running
in
drinking
all
water in all
of Liberia. All right, those are the things that leadership in this country need to be looking at. We have our sanitation. We have people throwing trash all on the road. I can take some picture of trash going when I'm going to the gym on the side of the road on the Rowfield Highway around the former president area and close to the main junction of where the current president and the former president live, the current speaker live, that people are throwing trash right on the road. We have people selling along the road that is dealing the drainage and so forth across the country. Right now, if we go to the cemetery, I think I can't remember the street name. The cemetery where in town, so forth. That's a big dump area. Those are the things that we, as citizens, we need to be urging our government officials, our politicians, and civil servants for them to be doing that. What are the plans to do these things? We know that people will not want to do the right thing, so they have to force people for them to implement these things. People need to be arrested. People need to be fined, arrested, put in jail, and so forth, to force people to make sure that Liberia turns better. We can't say, that Liberia, so we ain't gonna do nothing. We just let things go. We cannot do that. If we leave it to people saying let people come around to doing it, we will never improve our country. We must implement. We must force people into doing it. When I gave these speeches, I said that there are three types of people we have in Africa. We have the idiots, we have the tribesmen, we have the citizen. I hate to believe that we have more idiots in Liberia or tribesmen in Liberia than citizens. I think we have more people. I think that if we enforce the laws, implement the laws, set institutions, and enforce the law, then we will be able to do what we need to do to get Liberia to the position that it needs to get
to. All right. So I listened to you. You spoke lengthily, and like you said, the three sicknesses that kill most of the Liberian is due to safe drinking water, and that's just common thing. That cannot take this government, this country. It cannot take should I say billions of dollars to do so. You have the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. How effective are they working in line with the Ministry of Health to ensure that safe drinking water are given to the people? What are they doing? Just look at right in Central Monrovia. Look at the environment. Look at the street where they are talking about they are supplying water to other homes. Look at the kind of street we have here, where you have waste within the street, and you're telling the Liberian people you are giving them safe drinking water, but you can't see it. You're talking about sanitation, but how are we investing within that sector? Because that place is a special area. The sanitation area should be a specific area where attention should be given. There should be more attention given to water and sanitation. Imagine since that statistic, like you call it, 2018, since that statistic, government are saying it, including the Ministry of Health. They are saying that, but they have not made any progress. The situation is still continuing. They are not talking about how they can make a change, how they can achieve something bigger in that system to reduce the death within the country, especially looking at malaria, diarrhea, and you name the rest. They need to put in strategic plans. The government should provide the resources. If the necessary resources are provided, right, and you have somebody who is passionate, somebody who has a vision to change that sector, you can put them in. But imagine all of those who have worked within the sanitation and probably other areas. What have been their achievement? We ask all of them, ask some of them, what exactly their achievement? Just go to the Moravia City Corporation, go and ask the sanitation and sanitation director. I don't know how you call it, Harris. Go and ask him what is your plan for the city? What is your plan for sanitation? You are the director at the MCC. Ask him, what is your plan? He will not tell you specific plan. He will tell you, this is what we want to do, and this is what we think we can do. And he explained all type of things. But there is no specific agenda. There is no specific system they want to put in place. I think there should be a system that will change these sectors. The Liberian people deserve better. When you look at the most talked about three sectors of our country, the health, the education, and the security, they are still performing poorly. These sectors have not improved with 177 years. No improvement you can see in these sectors. So sometimes the people are concerned. They sometimes get on their knees and they ask God, where have we gone wrong? And somebody will say, what will happen tomorrow if Joseph Jiggin Robert uh, rise up today and see the way the country is proceeding? What will happen tomorrow if what will happen tomorrow if uh, William V. Stutman, other leaders, other great leaders rise up today and see what is happening and see Liberia is still in the same situation, in the same condition. The people are concerned about themselves. Those who are holding positions, those who are leading these areas, they are concerned about themselves instead of the Liberian people. So you find out the health sector right now, I can tell you, in the soonest possible time, you'll hear health workers complaining. You will hear health administrator, hospital administrators, county health officer complaining about the shortage of drugs. So there's still a lot need to be done. There is still a lot need to be done within the health sector. But I come this question to you: what will be your own recommendation, your own suggestion to the health ministry, to the health minister, if you had the opportunity to meet with the health minister? Dr. Jasa Jala.
All right. So
All right.
good question.
So, good question.
I would say good question.
I was
I have written a letter to the health ministry for us to have an interview. I have not heard back from them yet. So to the health minister, what I would recommend, my stuff would be to President Boycott that why don't we build a water distillery plant in our country? And yes, we can build it, public-private venture for this thing to be built. So a survey I seen about 3 years ago that from 2003 to 2018, in Liberia, we spent $600 million building wells and hand pumps. $600 million from public private NGOs, and government. $600 million plus. When I retired, my last duty station I had was in El Paso, Texas, and they built a water distillery plant that serviced El Paso, New Mexico, and Mexico City. And they built a water distillery plant that they spent $600 million to build that water distillery plant. And they are drawing water because it's a desert area. They are drawing groundwater and drawing water from the Colorado mountains. The Colorado mountains is like from Liberia to, I would say, maybe Ghana. That's where the mount. That's where the mountain is, right? And they spent $600 million to get that thing built. In Liberia, if you dig at least 6 feet, you're gonna get water. Yeah. So there are things that people have to have the vision and the mindset for us to improve. We have leaders who wants to get in those space and wants to be loved. They want everybody to love them instead of people to respect them. We want people who coming into this, coming to the public sector, into the political scene, because they're not looking to leave legacy, but looking to get rich. Now I said the word rich. I didn't say wealthy. I said rich. So until the Liberian people can see that about themselves, believe in their worth, believe that they can have better, believe that they can do better than what they are right now, especially the young people, we will continue to have these problems. We'll continue to have this health sector problem. So we've got to sit down with the health minister and the health or the president. Their goal is to be like, we want to build a water distillery plant. We can pay for it. How we pay for one of the ways how we pay for it is that the company that is building it, they will maintain it, and Liberians will be paying the government and Liberians will be paying certain amount of fees till the people are paid off, and they turn it over back to the Liberian people, to the Liberian government. Those are the things that we can look at. Those are the things that we need to look at to expand our stuff. We need to have a universal healthcare plan, healthcare sector in our country so that we can do that. Everybody to pay into the healthcare system so that we can generate more revenue, train more people, bring more qualified people into the country, nurses, doctors, practitioners, and so forth, for us to improve our healthcare sector.
All right. So this is another question. This one is about the health workers. Yes, we want this, we want to improve the system, and to improve the system, we must have the qualified, the competent, and the experienced, those who have the technical know-how. But how many of those that have been trained, if you were to hold position today or tomorrow, what could be a specific area you could focus your attention? Because sometimes when you put these people there, they talk about salaries currently as you speak, or and even during the political period, there were so many concern about increment in civil servant salary, especially health workers. They were demanding increment in their salaries. We have more nurses. We have uh, 23% of nurse aid. You have 2.7% of doctors. What will you actually do if you were in this position, probably president or minister of health? What will be a major focus? What will be a concern as it relates to improving the Liberia health sector?
I mean, if you look, if
If
from
you look,
me, I would say I would say that our yes, we need to improve increase our health sector doctor salary. I agree with that, but we cannot do that right now because how can we increase that if the Liberian people are still dying from these things and people are not getting the care, the citizens are not getting the care that they feel or know that they should get? How can anybody in good conscience say, "Oh, they should increase their pay," and citizens are saying that they are dying? We got infant mortality rate rising. You got people saying that they're afraid to go to JFK to go get babies because all the doctors are saying, "Oh, give them a C-section because they're giving women C-sections and stuff because that's more money when you give the woman C-section than when a woman naturally gave birth." We know epidural anesthesia and stuff that we don't have enough people trained in the anesthesialistic mindset field for us to do that, to administer epidural for people to give natural birth instead of giving C-section. Those things and stuff that we need to improve. Yes, and in if I was in a position, one thing I'm going to say that every graduating class we should have at least 5,000 nurses graduating. Every graduating class we should have at least about 1,000 doctors, so I want to say between 100 to 1,000 doctors, so we can have more doctors in the country. We need to import more doctors, qualified doctors. We need to make sure that people who are doctors or nurses, they are qualified to the certification point that they are qualified for it, not to just have any Tom, Dick, and Harry in our hospital, in our clinic. We need to improve the workspace for nurses and for doctors so that they go into a clean and safe environment. We need to build more public hospitals and clinics in the rural areas to make sure that people have access to health, to better health. We need to send more nurses and doctors into the interior. That would mean that we have to build roads so that doctors and nurses can easily get over there.
So that way I wanted to come from, because this is another thing I have witnessed this. Nurses will be trained by the government, and whenever they are sent in the rural part of the country, they go there, and sometimes they return back to the nation's capital or place that they know that is popular. They return because it's according to them where they were sent. The place is not conducive. They are not getting the proper treatment. They are not getting the proper attention what they're supposed to have. So at the end of the day, you find out that the rural part of the country where you have clinics or hospitals, these nurses will leave from there and return to the nation's capital after the government spend money to train them, educate them, and yet they do not want to do what the government wants them to do. So you find out that people do not have nurse or nurses or doctor to attend or to treat them at the various health center. So this is another issue, and the
Well,
ministry. Mhm.
I get it,
I get it,
but these are the things
but
that
these are the things that
when the likes of
when
Fanati
the likes
Kofa
of
goes
Anati
to
Kofa goes to
Councillor Kofa, Speaker
Speaker
Kofa goes to
Kofa goes
I think
to
Grand Peter, right?
I think right? Grand Crew, that's Grand Crew.
Grand Crew.
Grand
When he
Crew.
goes to
District
those
number
places,
two. When he goes to those
these
places,
are the questions: what laws are going to pass?
what laws are going to pass?
So do it,
So do it,
not give him
not give him
better rights.
the right to. All right.
So the Liberian
So
citizens
the
have
Liberian citizens
have to wake up.
have wake up. So this is a problem. We will ask two more questions, and then we see how best we can. Yeah, yeah. So
We get two more questions.
yes, yes. The health sector is something serious, right? And there's a need. Government and other partners need to come in, and citizens are concerned about the way in which government allocate budget or money for the health sector. They see that it is not enough to address some of the challenges the health sector continue to face, like the shortage of drugs, the lack of ambulance, the lack of laboratory, all these things, including salary increment. What do you have to say to some of these statements that have been made by the citizens?
I would say this.
I would say this.
The citizens said we don't want ambulance because it's against our tradition and our culture to have ambulance. The citizens said it's against our tradition and culture for us to have drugs that will help cure us. They want to go to witch doctors and so forth. So that is some of the stuff right there. You can't as citizen. You have to take responsibility for your own actions too. These are the questions that you need to be asking. How are we going to improve? We're not doing that. We are citizens. We are not doing that. Everything is about, oh, we can't do that because it's Liberia. We are all lackadaisy. We're pussyfooting around on what needs to happen. But we are citizens. We have to be willing to pay for our stuff. I am tired of us going to says country to go beg for money. Let's go to our international partners. Let's go to this place to go. But why is it we can never say we as a nation we are going to put money to the side to buy this? We'll take money out of our budget to do this. But we always run into international partners for them to give us money. We're always going to go beg all day. We are going to go beg. When we gonna stop that? When we as a nation gonna raise money for us to buy equipment for the continent? Why we gotta go to America? Why we gotta keep going to America, going to the UN, European Union, China, Asia, wherever the case may be, to beg for them to give us something? When we gonna go there and say, hey, America, y'all got some equipment, we want to buy it from you. Europe, y'all have some equipment, we want to buy it for how much? Let's negotiate the price. When are we going to negotiate price for equipment to come into our country to better serve our people? But we're always going to go beg. Please give us this. Please give us this. Please give us this. We have to change that mindset. We have to change that mindset.
So this is it. The Liberian people, the presidency, past government have introduced what we call free health delivery service. That is, when you get at the hospital, all what you're going to get is free registration, your tests, and the drugs you're going to get.
But it's not
free. But it's not free. That is exactly why former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf declared. She declared that, and up to present, I don't know whether they have revisited that law. I don't know yet. But during Mala Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration,
it was something that she
so I think it was a political statement, and that political statement has entered the health sector. So you find out when people get at the hospital because of this free health delivery service, People say they don't get the rightful treatment. That's why they they are giving specific paper with drugs name written on it, and direct them to a clinic or a drugstore or a pharmacy to go and buy the drugs. How do you see it? This whole issue about free services at the health center, at the health sector, at the hospital, at the clinic. How do you see it? And how
No,
what do you think
no,
needs to
it's
be
not
done
free.
both the
No, it's
government
not
and that of the
free.
people?
It's not free. It's not free. I'm sorry to the Liberian people. It is not free. Nothing in life is free. If we continue to say, "Oh, it's going to be free," we'll continue to have the kind of healthcare system that we have, where people are dying at an alarming rate because we think that the stuff is free. We all, as citizens, needs to be paid. Even if you're the poorest person in the country, if it's 2 cents, you should pay into the healthcare system. You should do it. We all have to contribute to the health of the country. We all have to do it. So when it comes to
So what
if
are
it
you
come,
there?
if it come, yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
I was saying,
I was
President
saying,
Salif made
President Salih
a
made
political
a
statement
political
about
statement
free
about
healthcare.
free healthcare,
Including free school, free education.
Man, I think that from kindergarten
Man,
to
I
12th
think
grade,
that from kindergarten to 12th grade,
students
students
should not pay for.
students should not pay for
I don't mean that we
I don't mean
as
that we
a country,
as a country,
not pay taxes
not
to
pay
invest
taxes
in our
to
education system.
invest in our education system.
Okay, what can we do now to
The kids,
have
The kids,
to increase? What can we do now to increase this 2.7% of medical doctors in our country, to increase them to probably 7% or 8% or 10%? What can we do now? Because we already have 36% of nurses and
I, I,
23% of nurses aid.
we, I,
we,
I already laid out what some
I
stuff we
already
can
laid out
do,
what some stuff
but
we can
it's
do,
on this,
but it's on this, it's on this
or
administration,
maybe
or maybe
they are going to do anything
they
to
are going to do
improve it.
anything to
So
improve it.
hopefully, come
So
the next
hopefully, come the next
election,
election,
the Liberian people be
the
asking
Liberian people will
those
be
questions you are asking, and
asking
we are asking on
those
this show,
questions you
to make sure
are
that
asking that we
that
are
this
asking on this show,
so it's only
to
Liberian
make
people.
sure
So
that
for the
we
next 5 years,
this what will
we have
happen.
to deal with
It's only Liberian people. So
this,
for the next 5 years, we have to deal
with
with
this.
this, with this.
All right. Okay. So
So
um,
it will
so good to
about to
talk on
wrap
these
up.
things.
We talk about to wrap up.
Yeah. So it is good to have conversation on these things, because our country today depends on us. For Liberia to be transformed, Liberians themselves should get into the mud. Liberian Liberians themselves should get on their feet, should take a new step. Because if we will want to wait for these leaders, or those leaders, right, they're going to be a serious problem. Because look at the situation. Imagine since 1847, each time we talk about it, it boils our blood, it boils our vein, when we are saying we are the oldest republic in Africa, and we cannot see anything new. We cannot see the change. wherein you have countries that have gained their independence of recent. They have made some progress, and others have made significant progress in the growth and development of their country. Look at Rwanda today. Look at Rwanda today. It tells you that the president there is serious. They are using technology now. Technology is one of the key tool that Rwanda is using to advance and to develop their country. For us, we say yes, Liberia will have all of the resources. We have all, but are we using it wisely? The health sector is still damaged. It's still a mess. The educational sector, the same. Roads, internet connectivity is still a major problem. So just before we conclude, we talk on three issues here. One has to do with the Ministry of Transport. Hopefully next week they're going to start inspection with in line with or in
Hopefully,
collaboration.
do not start inspection.
Okay, so next week inspection start, and then we also talk about the saga among representatives at the House of Representative, House of Legislature, where some lawmakers want the removal of House Speaker Fonati Kofa. And lastly, we talk about the health issue. Can you conclusively share your view or give us your parting statement on all of what we talk about?
Oh, I mean,
Oh, I mean,
can you mute your still
do
thing?
you meet your still thing?
Come here again. I'm not getting you.
We
We
can you mute your
can you mute
echo?
echo?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, as you know, we discussed here when it comes to the Ministry of Transport. I already said that I'm going to do a civil disobedience protest next week. I will not give my document to anybody that is wearing the rebel khaki vest that have MOT on it, khaki or blue. That's still that rebel mentality we still have in this country. We need to get rid of that. That's one. The Ministry of Transport does not have the authority to stop, search, and seize my POV. Their job is to make sure that my vehicle is properly registered. It's not for them to implement that. That's not the job of the Ministry of Transport. So I'm asking all Liberians watching here now or later that we need to do a silent protest to make sure that the Ministry of Transport does not overstep their authority. They do not. It's unconstitutional for the Ministry of Transport to stop, search, and seize anybody's vehicle. It's unconstitutional. Only the Liberian National Police are allowed to do that. The Constitution gave them the right to do that. The penal code law of the Republic of Liberia allowed the police to do that. There's nothing in this penal code law that have the Ministry of Transport anywhere in here stating that they have the right to search, to stop, search, and seize any property of anybody. When it comes to the speaker, I have already made my stuff clear. I have no sympathy for him because, like I said, what's good for the goods is good for the gander. When it comes to our healthcare system, we need to improve it. There's so many things we can do. We need to have a plan. We have people just going by the flower of the seed of the pants. We need to improve our healthcare system because too many of our Liberian brothers, sisters, mom, uncles, aunties, and stuff are dying due that could help a good healthcare system. A system can help prevent the deaths of most of our people. What is your give us your closing statement, Mr. Wilfred?
All right. So again, let me say thank you. Like you put it rightly, those who are responsible or who are close with the authority to do the work of the inspection that is the Liberia National Police. Yes, we look up to them to do what they think they can so that citizens cannot be embarrassed, so that there will be no unnecessary traffic comes next week. And we also call on citizens to also respect the rule of law, to also abide by whatsoever police going to say or do. Yes, we want to call on them. But again, we need to be civil in doing these things. With the speaker situation, uh, they are now into the legal process. They are now into the legal process, and the justice in chambers today supposed to sit. Let's say on Monday, sat with the two parties, though one of the parties did not attend the conference. But again, the rule of law must be respected. Mind you, Liberia is a country of law. Yes, the majority is also acting according to them on the constitution, but they have not stated that part of the constitution. And the minority also talk about the rule of law. The speaker going through due process. Yes, they want the speaker to go through due process. And if the speaker is found guilty, they're going to support the anti-Kofa group. So this has placed a serious problem to the function of these lawmakers. They have the responsibility to represent, oversight, and to make laws. For the past 2 to 3 weeks now, the Liberian people have not seen these lawmakers in session. The only thing you hear, majority bloc had a session yesterday. The only thing you hear tomorrow, the minority adjourned their session because the lack of quorum. All this hullabaloo, it is draining the workings, the progress of the state. Mind you, the budget is expected to appear before the plenary, the House of Representatives. And yet, this kind of situation, the deputy speaker is with the minority. So if the deputy speaker could be with the majority, the president then would have transferred the budget to the majority. But again, the deputy speaker has begged for time to the majority. He is saying he wants to see his legal uh, personnel. He wants to get advice from legal practitioner before he can join the majority. So we call for peace. We call for uh, unity among these lawmakers. They should think out of the box. They are benefiting from the Liberian people. They need to do the Liberian people job, and they need to go back to work. Whatsoever thing they might have their
Thank you.
disagreement with each other. They might have their disagreement with each other, but again, the Liberian people job matters a lot. That's what they were elected for. And so, for the health ministry,
Thank you.
we call on the legislature, the executive, and that of the Ministry of Health to also do their best to give the necessary resources and act and implement programs that will change or that will transmogrify these sectors. So again, I want to say thank you, and we look forward to another fruitful discussion like on Saturday, like we're hoping to meet one-on-one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
everybody watching,
So everybody watching, like, share,
and subscribe to Kua TV on YouTube. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to Kua TV on YouTube. I hope everybody have a wonderful day, a wonderful night. God bless Liberia and God bless Africa.
Welcome to the Eagle Talk Show. Soon you will be soaring high with your host, Mengistu Wolokoli, aka the Black Eagle, and the esteemed Dr. Kete Kumamare.